Hi there! Do you want to learn Power Automate and simplify your workflows? In this video, I will share one of the lessons from my Power Automate module on my Udemy course. If you want to access the course, check the pinned comment below or become a channel member to unlock all the lessons. Let's get started. So what I need to do is every time write after the existing content of the variable. So let's go to Edits, and inside here, let's search for variables, see more, and we have append to string variable. Instead of rewriting to the variable, we can append to the end of the variable. Let's select this one. Now we select the variable we want to append the string to, and what's the value that we want to append to that string. In this case, it's going to be, again, the email. But before the email, we need to add a semicolon to separate it. So I'm going to go before this email data and add a semicolon. So every time I'm going to write a semicolon and the next email to the end of the existing content of the variable. And I can remove this one, that's the set variable. Just right-clicked and selected delete. Now we don't need to change here. We are still writing the same variable to the var emails. So we can see what's the content of the variable after the for each run. Let's try it. Test automatically with the last trigger, and let's wait for it to publish, save, and run. I don't know if I clicked on test. Yes, now I clicked. Okay, the flow has run. It ran 2 times. In the first time, it added the semicolon and my email. And in the second time, it just added to the end of this string, appending Clark after the semicolon. And let's see the final result, that's the compose. So in the compose now, we have my email and Clark's email. There is this semicolon in the beginning. It may cause some problems. We need to test here, putting this variable now in the recipients of the post message. But what we could do is, instead of adding the semicolon in the beginning, we can put in the end. So it will be something that is email, semicolon, email, semicolon. We are going to have an extra semicolon in the end, but I don't think that will matter. Let's see. Now we are going to remove this terminates and let it run. But here in the recipients, we are going to put that variable. Here I can just type names, but if I switch to advanced modes, then I can select the variables. Clicking here in this flash icon, and here we have the variable var emails. Now I'm passing the variable to the recipients, and it's going to send the message to both users. Let's test, and this should be our final flow. We can delete this compose because it was just for debugging purposes. So let's right-click and delete, and test it to see if my user is going to receive that notification. And if Clark is going to receive, I'm going to log in on his account and see his team's messages. Test. Okay, so now I just saw I made an error, and we cannot send to multiple recipients at once. Since the chat is just unique for each person, we need to send separately. But we are still going to use this variable to send an email in the end, notifying the approvers all at once. And this one we are going to put inside the for each to send one by one. As they say, when life gives you lemons, you make a caipirinha. So let's just use this variable for something else. And now you learned the difference between this one and the email and how to concatenate the variable. So let's edit our flow. And now instead of sending after the for each, let's add inside the for each. And let's access the email from the get items. So I'm just selecting the email. Since it's already inside the for each, it will not create a new one. And now it's going to send one message by one. And the variable is still being created and appended to the end inside the for each loop. So after the for each, now we can use the send an email action. We have this one from the mail connector. This will send from a Microsoft email and sometimes might go to the spam. And we can also send an email from Office 365 Outlook that will use our Outlook connection to do that. The only action that we have here is send an email notification. If we go to Outlook, we have many other actions here, even calendar actions. We can create events, send invitations, find meeting times, get contacts, and so on. See, so many opportunities for automation in here. So now from the Office 365 Outlook connector, we are going to select Send an Email v2. Let's sign in to create a connection, and then we can provide the information to send the email. But first we need to complete our sign-in. Now it's signed in, we can provide who are the receivers of the message. Let's switch to advanced modes and select our variable that has the concatenated emails. In the subject, let's insert there is a new task. And in the body, we can provide the task information that we can also get from the previous actions. In this case, from the trigger when an item is created, because it's in here that we have the information about the task. So for example, we can get the description, the worked hours. So I will just write here worked hours and get the worked hours. And we can also get who created the tasks. So for example, created by. Since we don't see here, we can click on see more. And here we have created by display name. It will show the name of who created that task on SharePoint. We can configure the importance if we want. Let's keep it normal. And we have more parameters. If we click on show all, then we can configure several other things in here, such as who is going to receive the copy of the email, or we can even send as another account if we have the proper permissions in the Office account. Let's say, for example, a shared mailbox. And we can configure several other things in the same way that we configure when we are sending an email to someone. Okay, it's enough. Now let's run our flow and test to see if it works. I'm going to click on tests with a recent run, publish and test, and soon we should see the flow run. The flow is running, so it's collecting the approvers, doing the for each loop to concatenate the strings, sending one single message to each person, and in the end, sending an email to everyone because we have that variable that has the emails concatenated. I can see here at the top that I already received a message in the chat and an email. Let's see. Here's the chat, and I received the message saying that a new task was added. And if I go to the email, then I see that I received the email with the title, with the subject, the description, worked hours, and name of the creator. And I could add more and more to this email and improve even the visuals. I can see that the email was sent for myself because I was the one who configured that connection. But it was sent to me and Clark Kent in one single email. Now if I open Clark's interface, here we have his team. He also received a message from the workflow bot, and we can see that it was sent by me via workflows. And if I go to his email, let me refresh and it should be there. Here we have the email saying that there is a new task. In the next lesson, I'm going to quickly show how we could improve the email visuals, because we can provide style to the email to make it look nicer. It's very interesting when we are building something inside your company that you want to present it better. So I'm going to quickly present how to improve this email in a fast way. See you in the next lesson. Do you want to watch the classes without any interruptions? By becoming a channel member or purchasing the course, you can watch ad-free and support the future of my content creation. Check out the link in the description and in the pinned comment to get started. See you in the next lesson.